What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to this tutorial where we're drawing this abstract face using the gradient mesh tool, and we're pretty much just finishing up organizing our structure of the top mesh. There's just some things that we do have to correct still, such as the top purple area, the blue area, and shaping off the eye area, even though that's mostly going to be covered. But I do need the color to move in a little bit more organic fashion over there, and there's just like maybe I have to add one more point down here and just tweak these lines a little bit. For the most part, we're almost done with the top here. So we're just going to keep clicking away, organizing our lines. And I guess there's really not much to do over here. I just want to clean up the tightness. And I'm going to add a point over here, because I'm gonna have to make sure I capture these highlights on her lips. I feel like I'm gonna lose them later and I really don't want to, so I just wanna make sure I have enough detail down here so I can make sure I see the ups and downs of her lips, because there is a light source and it is reflecting off of here, and there is a highlight. Don't wanna miss that highlight. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on up here. I'm going to have to shift these points kind of down the line a little bit, because I need to make room so I can shift more points over so I can have that bend. And you'll see, because I need to have these points kind of start warping to the right faster, and it's really not going to happen with the way this is set up right now. So what I need to do is I need to shift everything. It's going to get a little tight over here, especially because this is a very abstract shape. It's not really like a normal shape. So things get a little confusing when it becomes non-organic. So we're just going to make sure we're still following our rules that we know and follow of the gradient mesh tool. And you should be able to get results regardless of our shapes here. But I do need to shift these guys down. And I'm probably going to shift this guy a little bit. Again, these points probably will be covered for the most part down here, or at least blended with. But I do need them to be structured a little bit better. Alright, so you can see what we've done now by moving all those points down. I'm able to kind of get that color bend that is required over here, because that's really I need that directionality of the lines to follow the structure of the face still. Regardless of our weird shape here, I still need lines to run in that form. And I'm going to add another point here just so I can have a little bit better of a structure and I can organize a little bit nicer. But you can kind of see now the bend of the lines that we've created here, as opposed to what we had before. And that's going to help keep the uniformity of the color, especially as we go up towards this blue area. So right now I'm creating the boundary between that red and the skin tone, because you can kind of see the red breaks off over here with the skin. So we're going to need to make sure that we're defining that. Kind of like that. I do need a point in the middle there, so I'm going to need to add a point here and then a point here, so I can source that skin tone in there. So that's pretty much going to be that. A lot of these points that are close together I probably will color match, because there's too many points in a cluster. Doesn't really make sense to have different colors there. A lot of the face is going to be smooth skin. Now when it comes to this eyebrow, the eyebrow will be covering most of this over here, but I do need the backdrop. I do need to create this base skin. Alright, because I don't want to really mess up this corner over here. So what I'm going to do is I do need a little bit more structure. I'm going to add a point here, this line. Because I need... Oh, I'm tired, yelling, sorry. Whoa, okay, I do need to have a little bit more detail in the eyebrow area. I need a little bit more structure. As you can see, this one's kind of going across the middle of the eyebrow, so I need it to kind of finish at the end of the middle of the eyebrow. So I need this point over here to come down, and really everything over here to come down. Alright, so now I can create a point here, and then I can create a point here. No, I don't want that point. I do need... I think this guy needs to come down like that. So I need to create the top of the eyebrow kinda like that structure. And then this needs to come down, I think. And things are starting to get a little crazy now. It's really due to the nature of the shape. I'm actually going to shift this guy down here. This is not going to make sense until I do this. This point has to be the corner. This has to come down a little bit, down a little bit. Alright, so we kind of untied that knot to the best of our ability here. And we started to get the functionality of this line back. So we have like the top of the eyebrow kind of structure here. And the blue is fine, that's fine like that. I'm not too worried about this highlight on top of her face. That will be picked up a little bit, but I'm not too worried about defining that like light blue necessarily. I'm not like freaking out over it. What I do need is I need to make sure now that I do need to make sure that we kind of correct the structure over here a little bit, because I do need this pink area and it's getting a little crazy over here, and I need to figure out the best way to do this area. Let's see. First, this little spot is a little messed up, so we gotta fix this for sure. I think I'm going to start. I think I might want to shift. Let's see if I move this like this. Let's see what happens. Alright, so now that I've kind of structured off that part of the eye, now I have this weird thing going on over here, which is starting to get really complex. And I need to figure out maybe, like, somehow I need to get the structure back of the pink. I need to get this pink squarish shape back. So let's see if I can kind of create it. Definitely a little wonky over here. Definitely probably not the best setup, but it might work. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't work. It's definitely just got to be blended a lot. Might come out a little weird because of all the lines, the way they're running, but if I do the blending right, I probably won't have any issues. But it definitely is getting a little hectic, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I think the pink area is fine, the blue is fine. I have my definition over here. And let's see, maybe I need to just, do I need anything over here? Something happened over here, let's fix this. I don't know how this happened. That's looking a little nicer now. Alright, so I'm going to color this top part because I really don't know what I have necessarily. Like, I know it's kind of gonna be close, but I probably needs a lot of work blending wise, so I'm going to color it. Let's fill in the color and we'll go from there. You know, we'll see what we need to do from there. I'm gonna add a point right here because I don't want like the orange to be spreading. I don't want the orange to be spreading inside the blue area because like that's what's happening right here. You could see that. Alright, so I added all the color in the top. It looks decent. I mean, there's definitely a lot of work, blending to do, especially at the bottom here. I probably need to add actually a point right here because there's just not enough boundary lines. But there's definitely a lot of smudging going on that I need to fix. Some color blending definitely needs to happen. So we're gonna spend, you know, I would say a while just making sure our top looks a lot smoother. Gotta figure out how to fix this line over here. And we're gonna take it from there pretty much. Alright, so to blend, we're gonna do our back and forth technique. And especially on cluster areas like this, I'm gonna match. So I'm just gonna start selecting to the right of each point. Alright, just a quick cut in on the fast forward here, but what I think I might have to do, or what I probably will do, is I might make a shape. After the nose, I might make a shape that attaches to the top of the nose to cover this pink and blue area, because I think based on the geometry, it's just, I'm gonna have to deal with this, this vertical line problem, because just the way the lines are moving up here, so I think I might cover this up here and just do away with this part of the mesh. because I'm gonna have trouble fixing this blending here, and I really don't foresee it getting any better. So I'm gonna patch the eye, both eyes, patch the eyes, patch the nose, and patch the top, and then the rest should pretty much look smooth. I mean, the red and the green, the orange, the blue. I mean, this has to be a little bit fixed, I suppose. But this is little stuff that I'm going to continue doing right now, and then we can go on and move on to the patching of the, I guess, the nose maybe we'll do first. Maybe the eye, I don't know. Let's do one step at a time here. Alright, so as of right now, I would say I'm pretty happy with the majority of the blending and the drawing going on. Besides the patching that I must do on the top, the nose, the eyes, and the lips. We're getting there for sure. We made a lot of progress. And don't know why this is all white here, but... Alright, so I'd say from here we can start the patching, and I suppose maybe it would be best to do the eyes first, both eyes, because that would give me a core blend for the left side, the right side, as well as allow me to get ready for the nose and the top. So, and plus it's going to make the drawing pop a little more, and the eyes are not too hard and they're pretty fun, especially it's going to make the drawing, you know, come alive, more realistic. It's going to make it look like we're further than we are necessarily, but I mean, I'd say everything is coming together pretty well. And when we're done with all the realistic drawing, I don't know if I'm gonna put this in the tutorial as of right now in this very moment in real time, but I will be doing some cool background stuff and some cool less realistic additions to this background and drawing to maybe even like, I don't know, like you're gonna have to wait and see. It's hard to explain. I'm just kind of going ahead of it right now. So why don't we just get right into the eyes, and I guess into the next episode. This would be the end of the base skin. Even though the base skin is technically, yes, it's not 100% complete, but as of right now, what my based on the method that we're going with, I would say I have to move on to another part of the body to continue. So I would appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe on this channel and this video. My name is Mark Tamani. You can find me on Instagram at markedarts. It's MERKD_ARTS. That's arts, marked arts. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. We're going to keep going on this drawing.